Bitcoin. Same thing happens in every blockchain, whether it be Solana or Tron or any other flagship blockchains which are available. But it works slightly differently on Internet Connectivity Protocol. So Internet Connectivity Protocol smart contracts, we call them chemistries here, they have the ability to hold the private key of a Bitcoin wallet. So when you basically create a Bitcoin using ICP, what you're doing is you're essentially extending your real Bitcoin against Internet Connectivity Protocol token. So there is no WAP version of the Bitcoin token which will be using on the Internet Protocol. One does not have to go to any of the communities to do those things. It's the capability to move the real Bitcoin and the Bitcoin value while the smart contracts which are there on the Internet Protocol.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. And has anybody in the room ever used MetaMask? Okay, excellent. And so one of the things that MetaMask does for most of the time that you're interacting with the decentralized applications, you're going to be paying high gas fees. Whereas actually ICP has a reverse gas fee model. So what that means is, like, as a user who's going to go and interact with the different websites, with the different applications, you're not actually paying for those interactions, because the way that it works is that in the back end, who's really paying for running those applications are the companies who are actually running those applications, who have this channel to run on ICP. So we have a question for you: are there times when the user does have to pay for anything on ICP?
Well, in order to interact with the Internet Protocol blockchain, one does not need to pay anything. It will be only the point when you want to, let's say, pay your coins over there, that will be the output from your wallets. But apart from that, every application on the ICP protocol is prepaid by the developers of that application.
Excellent, thank you. And when it comes to cost on the blockchain, so by the way, if anybody was to run a gigabyte of data, well, what you're getting for $5 in ICP is an entire gigabyte of data for a whole year. Whereas if you're going to try to do the same thing on Ethereum, just to give you an idea, you only get to 44 bytes. So if you look on the screen, you can see that basically for the cost per dollar on ICP, it's like 214 million bytes of data compared to 44 on Ethereum. That means the cost per interaction is like what it says on the screen, 0.0000. You can see that it's, you know, many zeros and then 536. So that's actually what's amazing. It's allowing the blockchain form of storage to compete with companies like AWS, to compete with Google Cloud, because no other blockchain can actually do that at this point. It's too expensive because of the way that they're run. And the other thing is that I think is pretty important right now, and it's getting scrutiny in the space. I think you've seen over and over, you know, Bitcoin's not green, things like that. Well, it's actually a green blockchain. And Adrian, can you let Javier speak to this one?
Yeah, hello everyone. Yes, I'm Javier, the founder of the ICP Hub North America. Yeah, this is just like an initiative taken by the Definitive Foundation, also with Carbon Cloud, because they think, and it's true, that now in different blockchain industry, there are like no transparency in terms of how much energy costs the nodes and also the blockchain in general. And they created like a proof of green between Carbon Cloud and the Definitive Foundation. You can see in the dashboard all the information there, okay, all the aspects of the energy that cost every single node ICP, also divided in the world, in communities, in cities. And this is a pretty interesting initiative that I think in the future, every single blockchain to be competitive would need to show this type of stats. And this is just the beginning. The idea is that improve even more in the future all the stats, but I think it's a pretty interesting way to show the transparency in terms of cost of energy.
Yeah, and the other thing is that there's a lot of companies that have already gone and taken Web2 applications and they have moved them to Divinity. So you can see, you know, like Medium, Reddit, Spotify, YouTube, things that you probably use on a daily basis. If you wanted to check them out, you can actually go and experiment with that on Web3. Where the next thing that's actually coming up is information about identity. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but identity theft is a pretty big problem today. Just last year, $43 billion were lost because of identity theft in the United States. And the people that it actually affects the most are the economically disadvantaged. So it's a pretty sad thing. And one of the things that, you know, even for myself, I can tell you I've been affected by fraud on the internet. So I mean, it's home to me. And so what I'm going to do now is go through creating an online identity and what it's like. The other thing that it does, so I'll just explain to you what happens on other blockchains. So let's say you interact with a smart contract on Ethereum, right? You go to Uniswap, you want to trade some Ethereum to USDT, you open up a smart contract and it'll start saying, okay, you're going to do this. Do you allow us to use USDT? You make a signature, but the problem is now if you go to another website, you just enable the maximum. So you just open up your social security problem. The thing is that ICP does when you're actually using your inner identity, every single time you're going and interacting with the website, you get a new identity. So they can't trace that back to you. So just because you made a vulnerability on one page, that vulnerability doesn't transfer with another page. So your security issue doesn't go with you. And before I go into creating this, another point I mentioned is current internet means like whenever you want to protect yourself in a form of security, you have to have a firewall. You have to do things to like prevent an attacker from coming to you. Because this is running on a blockchain and it's the internet on a blockchain, you don't even have to do that. But anyway, so let's go to creating the internet identity. It's very similar to creating a wall. It's basically it'll be a very quick process. So Adrian, can you allow me to screen share? I'm just gonna do a quick live demo and then we'll get into the ICP hub. So basically, for those who want to experiment with it, you can scan the QR code on the screen. If you want to be adventurous, if you don't, it's totally fine. But if you want to go along with me, so I'm going to click create new, and it's going to tell me that it's going to create a passkey, which is going to be unique to me. I'm going to authenticate and allow it to link to my, my fingerprint on my computer. I already have an internet identity, but this is my other one that I'm creating for the demonstration. So this is generating my internet identity. So now when I want to go and use all those applications, I'll have that. This is my numeric identity. And I'm going to say, like, I'm going to copy it. You guys might want to store it somewhere. I'm going to say save it, continue. You can store it in your notes on your phone. You can take a screenshot. So I have my screenshot, and now it's saying, do I want to have a recovery phase? Do I do a phrase? Do I want to have a recovery device? And I'm going to say, add a new pass. Do I want to add a new passkey on my node? So I'm going to say yes. You'll see how simple it is. So for those who really want to start using this in real life, this is my passkey. And say, is this a trusted device? Yes, so I'm going to go into creating my seed phrases. So basically, you have your own, and what this allows you to do is if you store it in a safe place, whatever that you consider that for yourselves, this is just for demonstration purposes only. You'll have the inner identity, and then you can do different things on ICP, whether it's interacting with like the form of LinkedIn or Medium or anything else that you want to do. Okay, so can we go back to the presentation? Thank you. And I'm going to click, I have completed this. We're good to go. It'll make you put in the identity again and the other phrases just to make sure that you really save your stuff and you're not just going to use it later. Okay. So thank you for those who want to know more about ICP and everybody who's in this presentation. You can also scan this QR code to get in touch with us. But I'm gonna allow my colleagues from the ICP Hub to go ahead and let you know what you can do, how you can get involved, the things that are available for you. So at the end, over to my colleagues.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, Ritik, I'm not sure if you want to add something more to the presentation of Agustina. We can start with the ICP Hubs.
You want me to go into specific?
No, I can start.
No, yeah, that was pretty much concise. I would just like one line to the internet identity. The internet identity on ICP works in a different manner in comparison to MetaMask wallets on Ethereum. Basically, there are multiple layers of ID representation on the internet computer. So, for example, using one Ethereum MetaMask wallet, if you go and interact on Uniswap or you interact and go on some different websites, the same identity is visible everywhere. Whereas on internet identity, there is one core identity which is very private to you. And then you interact with that identity on various platforms, let's say the ICP version of LinkedIn or the ICP version of Medium. Those websites see a different identity. In no particular respect back what you as a user are doing on the whole internet computer.
Okay, thank you. Great. Nice. Yeah, let me introduce myself. I'm Javier. I'm the ICP Hub North America co-founder. I work for the special projects of the Trinity Foundation 1 year ago, and then after 9 months in the special projects team, they evolved to the ICP Hubs. The ICP Hubs is an initiative powered by the Trinity Foundation, because they are trying to spread the word and accelerate the mass adoption of internet computer all around the world. As Justina mentioned before, we have 250 people in the R&D department of the Trinity Foundation, building the world computer, the core and the technology. But ICP honestly is pretty underrated. It's because the way that the Trinity and in general, the internet computer community spread the word before is not the best, and we don't have too much people in general before working in the marketing side. Other blockchains, maybe in terms of technology, are worse, but in terms of marketing and this type of things are really good. And this is something like internet computer community in general are changing. The ICP Hubs is an amazing initiative. We have a lot of ICP Hubs all around the world. The idea is like a build locally to scale globally and spread the word about the internet computer. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, what is a hub and what does it do? Okay, in a high level, we structure the hub in different parts. For sure, they have managers, also the partners that we have. For example, now in ICP Hub North America, we are partnering with more than 20 different companies in Canada and the US, plus also different universities, blockchain clubs. For example, Women in Blockchain Canada as well. The idea is like we have different list of verticals. We are working a lot in education aspects, in hackathons with developers, developer runners, also doing different events, different webinars, seminars. Also, we are trying to start building relations like directly locally with different universities as ambassadorship. Yeah, sorry, the screen, I cannot see the screen. Okay, perfect. Also, in terms of influencers as well, different meetups and partnerships with brands, with companies, with governments. This is in a nutshell more or less what is the hubs. Next slide, please. Yeah, this thing, this, you go to the next slide.
Go back.
Next one.
Okay,
Go back.
oh, wow. This,
Yeah, back.
this one, okay,
Yeah, and I'm not saying maybe it's another one before. Yeah, before one more. One more.
Right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one, okay,
yeah, this is more or less how it works, the ICP hubs in terms of attraction and how we can attract people for the ICP ecosystem. For sure, the idea is create content to evangelism and spread the word and create awareness of the internet computer. As I mentioned before, we are talking now with more than 20 different universities and schools and colleges in Canada and the US. After the evangelism, the idea is expanded down with education through workshops, webinars, bootcamps, hackathons. We are organizing different courses with universities. Also, we will be there in Waterloo as well. In the Hacker North, we will be as well in the ETH Toronto next week. We have organized different events and meetups with Blockchain in Boston, in San Francisco, in Toronto, in Vancouver. And yeah, this is more or less the idea of the ICP hubs. After the education, the idea also is start with the incubation and acceleration, bringing projects from Web 2 to Web 3. And the best way is through the community grants and the developer grants that I explain you after. And for sure, the last step is launch directly. These projects launch on the ICP and also maybe become a DAO in the future. And also receive funds from investors and VCs. Next slide. This is like ICP hubs in the worldwide. We are 15 different ICP hubs. Here is only 9, but last week we launched another 6. This is the ICP hub North America. We also have the ICP LATAM in Argentina, in Mexico, ICP Italy, Turkey, Dubai. We have it in Kenya, in East Africa, in Thailand and Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Bali. We have in India. Next slide. And we are growing a lot because also this initiative is pretty important for the Infinity Foundation. As I mentioned before, also last week we launched in South Korea, Philippines, West Africa, Singapore, Bulgaria, and Germany. And we have in target another 5 in Hong Kong, Brazil, Vietnam, Portugal, and Poland. Next slide. In terms of our hub, the ICP Hub North America, I'm the founder, also Ritik is the tech advisor, is the Internet Computer Services founder. We have also other partners and other advisors, but more or less the idea of the ICP Hub North America is accelerated mass adoption in Canada and the US, and also bring opportunities for developers, for people that work in the business side, also like opportunities for jobs, for funding in terms of grants, and this is the main idea for us, try to bring projects and people to the internet computer ecosystem. Next slide. This is the partner that we have actually. Currently, we have a partner with Internet Computer Services. This is a tech advisor, and also with different universities, blockchain in UBC, Toronto. We have Quantic School in New York. We have Calgary Blockchain Society as well. We are collaborating with other tech partnerships, for example, the Emergent Labs with the schools, and also bring employments, working employments to the students, for example, academic ventures. We are also in terms of events with off-chain, with Untrackable. They are organizing the ETH Toronto, Script 3, also for PR, for Play Hives, is the newsletters. And this is like just like small portion, but now we are signing a lot of different partnerships in general in blockchain North, also with the Canadian Blockchain Consortium, different universities in the United States as well. Next slide. Again, as I mentioned before, the idea is accelerating internet computer mass adoption in the US and Canada. Just to be in a perspective, the ICP Hub North America launched 2 months ago. We are the second cohort of this initiative. The first cohort started 6 months ago. We started just like 2 months ago. This is just the beginning. We are doing achieving great things, and this is just the beginning, as I mentioned. What is our main activities? In the first phase, we are focusing in create awareness. We are doing a lot of events, conferences, seminars, workshops, meetups in different cities in Canada and the US. The idea is also attract the developers. We just launched a free course in TypeScript for beginners or developers that just starting their journey in blockchain. Also in Python as well, Rust, or maybe for developers that have more and more experience. We are also attracting influencers through the community grants program, calls, PRs. We have a couple of hackathons organizing for September, and the incubator program, the idea is to start launching in October as well, and also doing like different pitching competitions. But this is more or less in an overview what is the activities that ICP Hub North America is doing. Next slide, please. And also, yeah, this is an important slide. This is the Definitive Community Grants Program. I encourage you to scan the QR code, because this is like a huge opportunity for everyone, not only for developers. The community grants is focusing in 5 different verticals: in events, education, content, influencer, and innovator in residence. Innovator in residence is pretty new. It's like for small projects that want to build like an app or something like small, because they can also apply for the developer grant, but something like is tricky to deploy, and they don't need like a big or huge teams of developers to achieve it. And then the other ones, events, for sure is like organizing different events or hackathons. Education, if you want to create like content or create like courses for developers or courses for in general, right? For talking about maybe metaverse, NFTs, or tokenization, these type of things. Also, Definitive Foundation support the guys that want to be part and bring value to the internet computer ecosystem. For sure, all the things related with content, if it's article, research papers, academia, is also pretty welcome. And influencers, even influencers, if you have a YouTube channel, a TikTok channel that you're talking about crypto, and you want to be part of the ICP ecosystem, you can also apply for the grants. We have 3 levels for each grant. The levels are Engage, Inspire, and Accelerate grants. The Engage is $5,000 USD, Inspire is $15,000, and Accelerate is $25,000. We have in the website, you scan the QR code, you have the handbook with all the information, and also you have the KPIs. The KPIs is the metrics to measure exactly how many users or followers you need for the influencer, or how many people you need to be attending the events. And based on these different metrics, you can apply for the Engage, Inspire, Accelerate grants, 5K, 15K, 25K. But this is really, really cool. The grants for everyone, not only for developers. And I encourage you to reach out to the ICP Hub North America, to me, to read me in our website or the Telegram group. And if you're interested and you think you can bring value to the internet computer, we are so happy to have a call with you and discuss the different initiatives that you can offer us. Next slide. This is just like an information about our next events. Today, the CenTech for sure. And next week, we are in the ETH Toronto. We have now more than 300 registrations. We have a booth the 15th and also the 16th, an event during 4 hours with different projects on ICP, the biggest projects, also with a couple of engineers from the Definitive Foundation to explain more about the internet computer, to explain more about the community grant, the developer grants, and all the ecosystem that we have now. But just pretty cool event. If you are in Toronto next week, we can see you there and meet us, but it's really, really a good event. And then we have in Seattle as well, the 29th of September. Sorry, 29th of August, we have an event with Off-Chain in Seattle. And then we will be in Waterloo as well, in the hackathon there in Waterloo University. Next slide. And this is also like a nutshell for developers. We also have a developer grant program. It's like a huge initiative for the Definitive Foundation. I think it's like now more than 2 years with these developer grants. We founded more than 50 different projects, and Definity invests more than $200 million in these developer grants. Next slide. Yeah, just in a glance, what, as I mentioned, total of 200 million allocated for developers building on internet computer. Also now we launched the artificial intelligence grants as well, plus the female developer or founder grants. Why? For sure, to grow the internet computer ecosystem, we need communities, but we need also developers to build apps, to build the ecosystem. And also, yeah, how you can apply submitting the application directly. I recommend it go to the website, the Definity Foundation website, or directly Google Definity Developer Grants Program and read more about this program. And feel free to apply for sure. Next slide. How it works, the grant process. First, you have to submit your application. So filling out the form. Then in a week, you will receive an email if it's go through the process or not. If it's go through the process, you will have an interview. The growth team, the Definity Foundation growth team, interview you, and also you have to show exactly what is your deck, what is your idea, what is your strategy, back end, front end of the project. In general, all the specific things in terms of business and also in terms of technology. Then, when the grant accepted, when the grant committee accepted the grant, you have to. The next step is basically have deliverables, milestones. Normally depends the quantity of the grant. If it's 5,000, 25,000, or 100,000, there are the 3 levels. Depends what is the milestones. You have 1 deliverable, 2 deliverables, or 3 deliverables. This is also important. You don't get the money up front, the whole amount. You receive one portion, and then you once you finish your milestones and you achieve your milestones, the Definity growth team review with you in a quick call to see if you already achieved these goals, and then you get the new funds. And then, yeah, of course, the final demo, the developer team complete the project at the final milestone review, and also like a support with another grants. Imagine normally the 100,000 grant is difficult to achieve. It's only if you have like a big project, also in production with customers. If not, normally like small projects, startups start for the first level, 5,000. If the team is pretty big, you have a lot of developers in your team, you can apply for the 25K. And then once you achieve the deliverables, even you can apply for the biggest one, for the 100K. Next slide. Yeah, this is like important as well, writing a great application. We have a lot of good projects that have been rejected for lack of information in the grants, or maybe because they don't have developers in the team, and this is important. The Definity is not, they cannot allocate developers. If you have a good idea, that's perfect, but also you need developers to achieve your goal and your idea. It's pretty important, be very clear about what you are building, how you want to build, what is the expected deliverables, also the milestones, the technical deliverables for each milestone, and also who is the person behind the project, why you want to build this project, why are you passionate about, why you like the internet computer as well, also the skills of your team, experiences, previous companies or previous business that you run before. This is really important to the Definity or the committee to to see like evaluate the grant if it's approved or not ready. Next slide. Yeah, again, as I mentioned before, grant size, we have 3 different levels: $5,000, $25,000, and $100,000. The first level is for small projects, for startups, typically tools, libraries, or POC. Also, it's like being completed within a couple of months. Then the second grant is $25,000. It's for mid projects, more than 3 months duration. It's typically like for apps that are building tools, libraries, or developer productivity projects. The goal for sure is launch at the end of the grant. Normally takes like 5 months, 6 months, or at least 3 months. And then 100,000 is usually project with more traction, and also are in production and have testing before, that have strong communities and clients. And normally they don't approve directly a grant for 100,000. Normally they apply for 5,000, the teams apply for 5,000, 25,000, and then they can go for the 100,000. Yeah. Next slide. Yes, what we don't support, the Definitive Foundation, they don't support containing explicit content for sure, betting and gambling as well, and also NFT marketplaces, because they already supported a lot of different NFT marketplaces. Rest of the activities, the rest of the business, if the project is good, the community is more than welcome to give grants for good projects, of course. Next slide. Also, you have more options for small projects. You can also get for bounties. You can click these different GitHubs, Affinity grants. You can apply for bounties, also for startups, and also the community grants that I explained before. But I encourage you to go to the Affinity.org. In the Affinity.org, you have all the information about the grants, about the developer grants, about the community grants. And yeah, we are more than welcome to sponsor your grant. We are not decision makers. The ICP have North America, we are not decision makers, but we have directly contact with the committee, the Definitive Foundation committee, and we normally review the projects. The projects write a draft, and we can review the draft and see if it's possible to improve. We give feedback to the projects, and then once we are on the same page, once we think the project is cool, and also the application is already filled out properly, the teams submit the application. Again, we are not decision makers, but at least we can help through the process. Next slide. Yeah, that's all. Justina, over to you.
Thank you, Javier, for that, and thank you, Rick. So, for anybody that has questions, we're opening the floor. So, does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to know about? Anything you want us to add to?
Recently, they've not the programming language on this platform. It's like programming and don't very language. Is that the first question? The second question is,
so let's start with the first question. So the gentleman in the audience, he's asking, what are the preferred languages that are used on Divinity? Is there some? And I'm going to answer for part of it. As far as I'm concerned, you can use TypeScript. Okay, you can use Rust, and you can use Motoko. Ridvik, am I missing anything?
Yeah, I mean, there is one more development kit available in Python. It's called Kybra. Kybra and Hazel is for TypeScript. Both supports the capability to code smart contracts on the internet computing protocol.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you want to know about?
So you'll be able to write smart contracts in Python, for example. You will be able to support that. I would imagine there's some way to.
Yes, so this there is no direct support as of now, but as of this, we could support something in Golang and so we have a assembly format. Those web assemblies could be deployed to us.
There's no support for stability. Is that right?
Yeah, no support for simplicity as of now, but there is a layer 2 on the ICP protocol that is called Infinity Network. They do support EVM-based smart contracts. So if you want to port any of the smart contracts from Ethereum or ICP, the Infinity Network, which is layer 2, would be the gateway to operate on.
The second question has more to do with resources. I assume so you're using AWS's resources, but are they entirely interoperable? Do you have the same security protocols, the same deployment on GbotDEX, EC2? What is the system there? Are there more restrictions, restraints? Do you have more vulnerabilities because the network is smaller, for example, the DDoS attacks? What is the nature of the infrastructure?
Yeah, so probably I misheard you. Internet Computer Protocol does not work on AWS. So Internet Computer Protocol is powered by individual node providers. So individuals like me, like you, we could basically buy servers from the market and be part of the network. But the security protocol is very well within the Internet Computer Protocol itself. So it's their own custom operating system, which runs on every machine across the world, and they all work in tandem with each other. So whatever happens, every machine executes the same thing, and it's a determination of input going to a smart contract and what the output is coming. And once the consensus is achieved, that's basically going to the state machine. Now, to answer your other parts of the question, in terms of DDoS and any other network related security considerations, so DDoS protection is built within the Internet Computer OS itself, and every node machine which is running, they have like a very sound firewalls, and the rules are updated mostly on a weekly basis via proposals, which are like open to the community. Everybody could basically come in and provide a new proposal to improve more on the security side. But yeah, they definitely patch their pressures all across all the machines which are deployed across the globe. Very similar to how the improvement happens in the Ethereum network with Ethereum improvement proposals.
Does anybody else have any questions? Go ahead.
Christina, we maybe could share the Infinity, the layer 2 Internet Computer. You can share after the presentation the website also about the Infinity Foundation, sorry, the Infinity project, and all the allow to run Ethereum and ICP through Solidity. I think will be great as well.
So you want me to send a message to all the participants with those websites? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that after. And then what we can do, I can give them the Telegram. If you can, the QR code for your Telegram group is in this presentation, right? Or no? If it's not, it's okay. I'll take care of that. So yeah, I think the best way to reach Ridvik and Javier is through the Telegram. So after this, we'll distribute that. So go ahead.
So first, thank you for this presentation. It was very interesting. I'm curious to learn more about the size of the current ecosystem, and you were talking a lot about like growing the ecosystem. So what are the current targets that you're setting for this year or the next few years? Yeah.
So I'll let Javier go ahead and discuss that because they work more directly. Well, I'm part of it. So Javier, go ahead. Or Ridvik.
Yeah, I can, thank you so much. Yeah, I can add that in general, in Canada, in the US, people don't know too much about the internet computer. That's why it's a problem, right? Because the blockchain is really powerful, and the activities and all the ecosystem is growing every single day. Internet computer is just the world computer. It's just like an open internet. But then there are a lot of things behind the scenes. There are a lot of teams working in different projects in DeFi, projects in NFTs, projects that are supporting like technology on the internet computer, social media. For example, we have open chat, we have Hot or Not. It's like the decentralized version of TikTok, and the decentralized version on WhatsApp. The data is found like 5.5 million in just 5 hours, and is evaluated at more than 25 million. This type of companies. Each project is different for sure, but we are supporting a lot. Whatever project you have, in terms of developers, is our main goal now, because for sure we need to have more services and more dApps on the space. But when I say like grow the community, also as Justina did before, is just like create an internet identity and interact with Discover, for example. This is a really cool social media, or with other dApps that we have. It is pretty important, and our idea now is focusing on users, focusing on developers, and focusing on teams, right? The mission of the hub works as a bridge between investors and projects. This is the main goal for us. But now, in the first phase, the idea is like spread the word, have more developers involved, have more users involved, who use the internet computer systems, who use the apps. But at the end of the day, we are trying to decentralize the internet totally. We are trying to be, we are not like Ethereum killers or Solana killers or whatever blockchain killers. We are more like trying to like be the amateur web services killers, and try to decentralize the full internet, right? And try to the data and the information is for the users, not for the centralized corporations that they sell it to third parties, or they can manage whatever they want to do. This is more or less my opinion on that. But just to finish and to summarize, everyone is more than welcome to participate and to be part of the community. In our first phases, we just focusing more in developers and users for sure.
And to add to what you're
Do you have
saying,
something more?
well, I think to just let everybody in the room know, I'm planning to do a TypeScript event with internet computer, and also planning to do a hackathon later down the line, and to combine people from different backgrounds. So like we obviously need people who are from business, and also people who are developers, because if you're going to build an application, you need a solid idea, you need to know what you want to do, how you're going to market it down the line, and you also need people who build it out. So I think the point of we're going to conclude and have the networking is so you can meet people in the room who I know are building on different blockchains, and who are, who can even connect to other ecosystems. And now that you know this information is here, you can combine with these people and have your idea worked out. You don't have to know anything. What you need to have is something that you want to do. I think that's the best way I can put it. So I just wanted to thank everybody again. I wanted to thank the ICP North America Hub. I want to thank CenTech for having us here. I wanted to thanks to D.A.T.A for helping us stream this from the metaverse. I really appreciate everybody who came out on this rainy Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. So a big shout out to everybody, and especially Adrian from CenTech and Justin from CenTech DAO, also Jordy for helping me take the photos. So thank you everyone, and let's enjoy. There's some food in the back, so let's mingle and have some bites and have a chat.